appreciate it, but I just did.
Goes to show.
You know, those are the things that go on when we have a break. If you guys wonder what are the NESL casters doing in that commercial break,
We're
well,
talking about Paris Hilton.
talking about Paris Hilton, and I'm having a good time because I love a good time, or it's the other way around. I love a good time because I'm having a good time. I don't know,
You know
but
what? Thursday comes after Wednesday.
yeah, and Friday comes afterwards. But I don't want this weekend to end. God,
Sometimes I hate this world.
we have some awful music on this planet, that's for sure.
I cannot believe some of the conversations we have.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, complexities. The STC is our Blue Terran spawning on the right top side of Whirlwind. He played very well in game number 2 against Jim. I love the aggression. I love the execution above all. And also, I love the moment that he showed courage to go with 5 medevacs in. Yeah, that's a risky phase of the game. If you lose all 5 medevacs, you're going to have a bad time. But if you're flying with 1 medevac, you're going to get feedback, 2 zealots get wiped in, nothing gets done. 2 medevacs, double feedback, you lose 60 supply, nothing gets done. Sure, flying in with 4 or 5 is a big commitment, but if it works out big time. And I still think that we don't see that often enough. And I think even the term Doom Drop is a little negative, because I don't see it as a Doom Drop. I would like to call it the Success Drop from now on. Or the Gold Seeking Drop, I don't know. It's something that shows ambition.
The Success Drop.
The Ambitious Drop. Don't call it a Doom Drop. Because Doom sounds negative, desperate.
But it's Doom for the other player.
Yeah, but it's also doomed for you if it goes wrong.
But that's an accurate representation of what it is, though.
No.
Somebody is doomed.
I like the Ambitious Drop. Doom gives me a negative tone, a negative feeling. Either way, the STC showed great courage in game number 2, and he's going to go up against I would like to say our very own.
Yeah.
Invictus Gaming. Jim. Because let's be honest, we kind of made Jim.
It had nothing to do with all the hours of practice, all the hard work, all the arduous qualifiers with 300 ping from China that no normal human being would be able to win. It was all Roddy and me.
Of course, I'm kidding, guys. Jim is just a fantastic player that we really like. And it is sad that he's not going to be with us in the Premier League round of 16, but his buddy Maxed will be here, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to have Maxed
Maybe
around.
Jim will come as Maxed's manager.
Instead of Edison. I don't think that's gonna work.
Somehow I doubt that.
Me too. I know that Edison is packed for pumped for the trip. He's got like 3 cartons of cigarettes packed
Crummy
already.
Chinese cigarettes. You want cigarette? No, Edison. I said, don't. Like you smoke one, your whole mouth turns black.
It's not just that, but Edison, the manager of Invictus Gaming, you know, like there are plenty of people who love to have a cigarette every now and then. You know, if you like that, it's completely fine. And then you have the chain smokers, and then you have like the Russian chain smokers out of the movies in the 60s where they smoke all day, and then you have Edison. Edison has a carton by the afternoon done. I've never seen anything like that.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, and guys, you have to understand how vile these cigarettes are. They're just the worst thing. It's like somebody took the smoggy air out of Shanghai and compressed it.
Nah, you cannot be that. I mean, for them it's normal. It's like that's probably what they say about our food or something. No cigarette is good for you regardless. Some of them do stink a little more than the others. But
well, Edison's are a particular brand of
smelly.
of rough.
Anyway, we see that the STC is going to play very, very macro intensive. I always personally struggle a little bit when I see this build, because you know, it all comes down to when you scout it. And when you scout it, you have 2 choices as a Protoss player. Am I going to drop the Nexus immediately, but do I know it's going to be hard to keep it alive in a certain phase of the game? Or am I just going to chrono boost probes, and play it very safe and then drop the Nexus, which means I will have plenty of money, but my third base, my real third base economy kicks in a little later. I think as soon as Jim sees what he's playing against, he's just going to drop a third Nexus. He won't be afraid, as his first observer is already in production and should be heading towards the right direction. And I think he's just going to drop that Nexus immediately around the 8-minute mark. I'm always a little afraid when I see this, because right now there's nothing you can do about this anymore.
Yeah, there's definitely no aggressive option here.
No, so it's only a passive options, it's late game options, but you know that this third command set is going to pay for itself around like the 13-14 minute mark. By that phase in the game, Terran is going to have like 30-40 supply up on you. But if you have Storm, you can survive. If you have enough Colossus, he doesn't have enough Vikings, you survive. There are plenty of ways you can survive, but it doesn't mean it's easy. And I'm very curious to see how Jim is going to go at it.
Observer makes its way into the natural.
If it gets scanned, actually, that would be horrible for Jim.
I heard a scan.
Yeah,
it was not on the Observer. He's in the
So
main
he's
base.
probably just missed it as well. But Jim might just miss his command center flying over, and I've got the hiccups. Terrible.
There's a second. That's not an observer, it's a marine in the middle of the map. Second observer for Jim is right outside of his natural.
And Jim doesn't know, still doesn't know about this command
Given
center.
what he's seen, it's not enough that there could be anything else, and now he's going to
Yeah.
send it out. So
You're right, the factory is very late. But still, seeing is believing.
Now he believes.
That's what the Farseer says, man. Him already dropping that third nexus immediately at the 8-minute mark. He is not afraid. And he's also going Robo Bay, which means that, yes, you're going to have those Colossus. In the straight-up fight, you're going to be more than fine until your opponent has plenty of Vikings. But it also means that in a certain phase of the game, you're going to have less gateways than if you would have gone for an all-out Templar attack or just charge slots and stuff. So Jim is going to have a very selected amount of units. And he's going to have to split them up perfectly to be safe at all 3 locations at once. And I actually think if STC does everything right, man, he should be able to find an opening, and with an ambitious drop, he might be able to win the game.
Twilight Council down for Jim. You think he's going to go charge or blink first? I think blink might be the better idea, but he's not going to have much money for stalkers.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think that you want to go blink right now, because he's not going to have a whole lot of stalkers. And I think charge would be the... Even though Colossus are already strong in a straight-up fight. I think above all, he just wants to... I actually don't know. Well, it's going to be blink.
Blink. Plus 2 armor starting up as well.
You know, considering the fact that he has so much surface area to cover, I can't blame him for this. And, you know, charge is better in the straight-up engagement, blink is better in dealing with drops. If you have Colossus for your straight-up engagement, maybe blink, you know, is the more logical option. This little Christopher Columbus is gonna see the new world. He's the cosmonaut. Do you know what a cosmonaut is, man?
It is an angry marine that kills probes one at a time.
Do you know what a cosmonaut is in the real world?
I could not. I know that it's like an astronaut, but I guess
Yeah.
it's not the same.
It's a Russian astronaut.
It's a Russian astronaut.
I learned that yesterday watching Apollo 18, the worst movie of all time.
Really? That's the only difference?
I think so. I know.
Research.
They call them cosmonauts.
Well, now we know. Today I learned.
3 additional Rexes going down, so STC is going to go all out on unit production. That even gives me the feeling that maybe in a certain phase in the game he wants to pull SCVs. There's no second starport going down yet. His upgrades are going to be so sick, by the way, man. He's going to hit 2-2 around the same time as Jim is
Man.
going to have 1-2.
Jim just has nothing right now.
Yeah.
But somehow he has the same army supply. That's so weird. 4 Zealots, 2 Colossi, 3 Stalkers against 24 Marines. 6 Marauders and 4 Medevacs.
Yeah, but no, this is not the moment where STC should commit, and I don't think he wants to. Yep, just back up. This is not your fight, STC, and that's exactly what the STC does. Perfectly done by him so far. Jim realizing, like, yeah, you should have a lot more. As I mentioned before, 13, 14 minute mark, even getting +1 air weapons already. And second starport going down, so maybe STC
Here
has...
comes the drop into the main base of Jim. He's not going to see it until it's... Oh, the scan gives it away. And
I think he caught a glimpse of it with this observer over here. I think STC knows about this observer.
Photon
Wow, that's a
overcharge just
really
went
hard
down.
observer to spot. Sweet Jesus.
yeah, if he just casted Photon Overcharge on his main Nexus.
It's okay. Let him cast Photon Overcharge if he wants to. It's his birthday.
I don't think it's really his birthday.
It's his birthday. And
He
he can
can-
cast
he can
Photon
Photon
Overcharge if he wants to. All day, every day.
Look, Kevin, it's the beginnings of a success drop. Or an ambitious drop. Whatever you want to call it.
I want to call it the ambitious drop, so just let me go with the ambitious drop.
I feel like that would have to be a Strelic drop, though.
Yeah. That's true. So many units being streamed across the map right now. This is really the moment where Terran's supply is just going to skyrocket. See 96 against 80, that's a reasonable lead, but I think in a minute from now on the lead's even going to be bigger. Small hit squad over here. This is basically like a 4 stalker hit squad, but
Oh,
he's
Jim!
attacking his own
Don't kill
simulator.
your assimilator. That's unnecessary.
But what SC is doing here is he's forcing Jim out of position. He sees where the army is. He's going to try to cut off reinforcements. This is going to be sick, man.
Scan goes down. Zealots will join up with the Colossus ball, and STC
Something
is not
ambitious
gonna
is about to
continue.
happen. I feel it. I feel it in my veins. Jim also has an ambitious drop.
Sure does. It's empty.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean he can't warp in like 20 Zealots.
He has great potential on this prism. I love how this prism is just chilling here. Everything just runs by. Vikings fly by. It's like, you know, you could probably cost me the game later on, but just gonna ignore you for now. But you could hang there. I never said you could go into phase mode. You don't want that. Couple of High Templars being wiped in right now as Templar Archives finished up. Of course, feedback is gonna make his life a lot easier, certainly because these medevacs, man, have been out on the map for so long that they have plenty of energy, so every feedback kills medevacs right now, and I sincerely believe that feedback, if the medevac count is this low and it's that easy to kill, feedback is a better option than than a Storm right now.
Great observer positioning here from Jim. One of them will get scanned, but it's yes, it's gonna die right at the edge of that scan vision. But Jim knows where this army is. Thanks to that observer, needs to replace it sooner rather than later, though.
Because of Jim's quick turret base, he's still being close to max out as well at this 15-minute mark, so he's not too far behind. He's slightly behind in upgrades, but he's about to finish up. What a massive Storm!
Holy cow!
Right,
Blink
I eat my
Stalkers
words.
underneath the Vikings. I think Storm was the right choice. As
but imagine if these medevacts were dead.
Another good Storm lands, but the STC staying alive. 172 of 200 supply against 150 of Jim. Jim's in trouble, Kev.
Yeah, and these medevacs are still alive. They're going to be able to heal up so much of this bio army. A couple of things will get picked up over here, but pre-ignite or ignite afterburn is being used, so these medevacs stay alive. This Nexus gets picked up. You know, no matter how much. Pick him up, pick him up. Feedbacks land, massive feedback.
Nicely
Boom, that's
done.
what I'm talking
feedback
about.
And Storm means those medevacs are going to fall. Jim trying to keep this army occupied, drops a time war, picks off a Viking, but I think that's all he's going to get. Maybe one more blink. But it looks like, no, that's not going to be the case. Jim lost his Nexus.
Yeah, but he has more supply left. He's wiped in so many units, and that final feedback, and there was like 15 supply of units. He's going to clean up this little army over here as well. Upgrades were even right now, I believe. Actually, no, we're on 2-3 already. +3 finish during that fight. So despite the STC going very heavy on the upgrades, Chrono Boost showed its worth once more.
We have some ambitious High Templar here in the middle of the map.
Oh, talking about massive EMP. Sweet Jesus, that's an expensive little loss there for Jim. I don't know what kind of ambition Jim had with this army. Man, that's a lot of ghosts that we have over here. Jim has to be very careful. This is not a planetary fortress though, so he's okay for now. Interesting. Kind of funny how that played out. It looked like SC was going to win the fight, and then first it looked like Jim was going to win the fight, then it looked like SC was going to win the fight, and SC went for the Nexus, and then Jim kind of won the fight. I guess this was just a trade-off that the SC made.
Still a close game. 199 supply to 174.
3-3 against 3-3 right now. There's a lot of Zealots, but this is not a good moment for Zealots to fight. There's not that many Colossus either, but there's not a single Viking out on the map right now.
Big EMPs, a Storm lands on a Marauder. Jim's going to have to back off.
Jim should really back off. This is the moment where you think you're going to do okay, but you lose everything. I know this feeling. I'm not very good late game PvT.
Vikings being produced 4 at a time. Jim needs to get away from Colossi and into High Templar, but with the Ghost count so high already.
Yeah, there is not a single Viking out on the map right now, I believe. Maybe there is. Yeah, there's one. So there is a single. More High Templars joining in the fun. There are 3 Colossus. Those Vikings have to come soon though for the STC, but I think the STC will be fine. This missile turret is scary, and that bio army and these Rexes protecting it is very scary as well. What a fun little PvT this is, because this can truly go either way. I kind of like STC's position, man. He's getting that fort base. Jim is getting his fort base as well. But Jim is being so aggressive that I'm afraid he's going to take a bad fight soon. Unless he's
close, man. It's so close. The STC's got a good position. Colossi going to lay siege to this little wall. There's a okay Storm on some units, but good EMPs, man. All the shields of this entire Protoss army have just been
Jim has to be so careful. I'm afraid
Jim, man.
I'm afraid Jim is going to lose everything soon. And with everything, I mean everything.
Oh, crazy blink. He's going to try to get a position on these Vikings. The Vikings are all going to fall, Kevin. The Colossi. Oh, here come the extra guys.
Oh, great Storms, though. Oh,
4 Vikings from the top. This is close. The Colossi have done so much damage. The supplies, the most narrow of differences, 129 supply to 119. Jim's got to retreat. Needs some reinforcements. He's warping in High Templar.
That was pretty good for Jim, because he kind of reset the Viking count completely, and he picked up quite a few ghosts as well. So many EMPs were used. That went reasonably well for Jim. There was one really good Storm, and you know, above all, the Colossus survived long enough to deal crazy amounts of damage.
Jim's still dancing outside. The natural of the STC's got to be so careful. Cannot afford a bad fight. More good EMPs. This time the Colossi are too close to Marauders, and they're going to fall very quickly. This could be it for Jim.
Well, Jim's going to lose this army, maybe. Well, he has a big fight over there. He's going to warp in so many Zealots, and he's going to force the STC to back off. Look how low on energy all these medevacs are.
Man, Jim really needs to do something about these expansions, though. I don't think he even realizes the 4th base.
Yeah, but that's the only base
Oh, it's a planetary, though. He can't really attack it.
You know, Jim is trading reasonably well here all the time. He has to be so
140
careful.
supply to 130.
Every time I think it's gonna go horribly wrong for Jim. He's kind of like trading okay. Scan goes down, no storms yet.
Sit for that pylon. He's gonna
Here's another
fight
one though.
dust, and Jim's gonna fall back.
Only single Colossus in his army. I think second Colossus is on the way. That is correct. Here we go.
Not any stalkers anymore, so not a good answer
To the
for the Vikings.
Unless these Archons can get juicy hit stuff, but I don't really see that happen. There's not a single observer with this army, correct? And there is a lot of, you know, he could cloak these ghosts. I don't understand why he's not doing that.
Another big EMP, and Storm continues to be a non-factor.
He's scanning, he sees all the High Templars. Come on, use your cloaked ghost. This is the moment where cloaked ghosts are so fantastic. Might see this observer right now and kill it.
That observer.
Such a close game, such a fun game.
180 supply for both sides. Jim is getting aggressive once more, lands a couple of feedbacks, takes a couple of snipes.
Picks up the observer, so important. Now he should really activate cloak. This is your
whiffed
moment.
EMPs.
There's only one observer out on the map, and that observer is over here in the right bottom side of the map. If he cloaks and he EMPs everything, like EMPs big time, I don't know, he's losing his ghost. Oh.
Oh, Ghost bite the dust. Here comes Jim. Could this be the attack that does it? Looks like he's not willing to commit. Oh, a nice storm. But the medevac count very high. This looks like an okay fight for Jim. Does he have one more storm? I don't think so. Bio being microed back. Archon's in the fray as well. Oh, it's so close, and I think it's very narrowly gonna be a hole, but the reinforcements continue to stream forward. Did Jim just break the STC? No way!
For now he did. That fight went so bad for the STC because all of his EMPs missed. He lost so many of his ghosts, and more EMP just completely whiffed, and a really big storm landed. But now with the reinforcements, he's gonna try to hang in there a little longer. Jim is losing a lot of expensive units too. He's gonna lose that High Templar. Now the STC started attacking his starport. What a sick... This fight just does not stop, and it's been going like this back and forth for 7
back
minutes.
and forth aggression. 106 supply for the STC, 120 for Jim. Jim's got no fourth. He does have a fourth.
Yeah, he does have a fourth.
He took a fourth. He's got no fifth though.
He's not using the assimilators, but the SC doesn't have a fifth either. The SSC messed it up so badly though. He lost 5-6 ghosts doing absolutely nothing, and he could have even cloaked them, and it would have made all the difference. He needs a lot of EMPs to deal with these oh my sweet lord Archons. And Guardian Shields, like, I heard you guys need a shield?
That's too many Archons for one EMP to even hit them all.
Yeah, that's what right now you need that. If you have 10 ghosts, you clean his army up without a problem, but he has like 3 of them.
Jim's going to make his way up into the fourth, it looks like.
Here's the Ghost
that's
Academy
the Ghost
as well.
And Zealots are not going to be right-clicked on it. They're going to make their way into the mineral line. There's nothing there that's been all mined out.
I like the army of Jim so much
STC,
more.
why are you going up there? That seems like a poor decision. If Jim goes into the natural now, I don't think the STC can defend.
Nope.
Jim, go into the natural!
He's gonna clean up these zealots, that's something. Factory scouts, he sees their High Templars piling, getting closer and closer. That's always a bad sign of your Terran.
And here we go. Jim does push up into that natural, and how is the STC gonna deal with this?
The medevacs is so low in HP.
And how does
as well.
the STC still have minerals in his natural?
Ooh, EMPs land, pretty reasonable EMPs. 2 Archons go very low in HP immediately. Jim kind of splitting up his army, but I think he has enough.
Yeah, it feels like it's just a little too strong, a little too much. The STC battered back into the third base. The natural has been ravaged. There's 1 mining expansion. The production is all but forfeit. It's 60 supply to 145. What a game, man. Absolutely unreal. It could have gone any way for the last 15 minutes, and somehow, some way, Jim is going to come out on top. He's on top of the barracks. The STC won't be able to produce units. That does it. Good game is called. Invictus Jim is